These are people who survived the impossible, from a woman falling 33,000 feet or 10,000 meters from the air and still surviving, from a guy outliving one of the most dangerous volcano explosions, Pompeii. And by the way, I'm not even joking, dude. These people who actually survive are like generally, how are they alive?
These are 3 people who survived unsurvivable things.
Let's see it.
First, in the early 1800s, explorer Hugh Glass was ripped to pieces by a grizzly
Hugh
bear.
Glass.
His leg was shattered, scalp torn off, punctured throat, and gashes everywhere.
Sorry, I gotta pause. How you surviving? Bro, scalp, broken leg. Look at the position this guy's in, bro.
Having no hope, his friends took his gear and left him behind to die. But he didn't, crawling over 200 miles in the deadly wilderness, eating bugs, berries, and roots to survive. And after 6 months of crawling, he reached civilization and lived. Next in
Yo. I hope you guys realize how far 200 miles is, bro. Bro, 200 miles is 321 kilometers. Bro, I can't even do a mile, man, under like what? Like 8 minutes, bro? Doing a mile is hard, or 2 kilometers or whatever.
1945, a man named Stamu was on a business trip when one of the largest bombs in history hit 2 miles away from him in Hiroshima, launching him into the ground, causing serious burns, temporary blindness, and ruptured eardrums. But survived, going back home to Nagasaki to work again. While describing how he survived to his boss, another atomic bomb dropped, hiding for cover and luckily surviving once more. Finally, in 1972,
alright, that guy's gotta be like the luckiest man alive, bro. Living with him, you must have like won the lottery.
While a flight attendant named Vesna was on a plane ride, a briefcase bomb suddenly exploded, launching her out of the plane. Everyone else on the plane died, while Vesna fell strapped to her seat over 33,000 feet into a snowy hillside, breaking nearly every bone in her body, but survived and lived a normal life after.
Normal life. No, I gotta see the comments, bro. What? Surviving 2 nukes is actually crazy. Respect for that guy, bro. The third one, bro. I literally forgot the name. The baddie, bro. How she survived 33,000 feet, bro? That's insane. I don't know what that is in kilometers or kilometers, but dude, that's insane. But just think of surviving like a skydive, bro. A skydiving failure parachute. People that survived the impossible. Let's get it. Venzena Vovok. That's her, bro. This is the baddie, bro. I knew she was slain, though. Look at her. Dude, I don't know. Hey, look at that, bro. She survived a freaking high fall. That's crazy, bro. All right, Helen Caben. With no fluid with plane after the plane crash.
People who survive the impossible. Okay, let's see what they're talking about. I do not believe this. Romel Broom. He survived the electric chair. Hey, I didn't even know that was possible. Wait, is he like allergic to electrocutions or something? That's insane.
Dude.
Smooth Tomo.
Oh, so this is the guy. This is the guy that saw in the first video. Yeah, that guy. Bro, this guy's a legend, bro. Japanese legend.
Atomic bombs.
Dr. Anna back at home.
Dr. Anna back to life from an icy underwater grave? Wait, was she frozen in time? No way. Maru? Oh, okay, what did he do?
Forced to drink back
blood after getting lost in the desert? I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, bro. That's kind of crazy,
though. I think we just saw this or something.
Survived 49 days without food after a plane crash.
Bro, she must have eaten like bugs or some stuff. Maybe some like dirt and like some roots or something, bro. Like, that's insane, bro. Like, bro, she was really like surviving in the jungle and stuff.
The luckiest people who survived the impossible.
Yeah, alright. Yo, should I do the YouTube accent, guys? I feel like that's just like so like you know what, I'll do it for a video where there's no reactors, but let's continue on.
Jenna Geese was bitten by a rabid bear at just the age of 15. She was rushed to the hospital with almost no time to live as there was no rabies vaccine inside. Then one brilliant doctor decided to put Jenna into an induced coma, hoping that her body would produce antibodies to fight the virus. And it actually worked.
Her into a
Jenna
coma
became the first person to recover from rabies without a vaccine. Next is 24-year-old Lisa Mindy. She was attacked by a shark that bit her head and dragged her underwater. But
so their head, because without your head, you're dead. That's a bar.
Somehow, miraculously, the great white shark lost its grip, and she managed to get up to the surface and make a full recovery.
Okay, maybe she didn't bite her head. The shark didn't bite her head off, but yo, that's crazy. Let's do it, guys. We're gonna do the YouTuber accent. People who survive the impossible. No, I can't do it. Never mind. Let's not do the YouTuber.
Impossible.
All right, let's get it. Enduma Masama Noah. Wow. Okay, yo, that guy's him. Holy snap. This man, a leopard, bro. That joint is one of like the worst. Like, bro, they are scary prey hunters, bro. Like, really scary. Killed with his own bare hands, bro. I know, you know what? I know the technique he used. Because if I ever am in this situation, bro, first things first, I'm gonna poke his eyes. I'm gonna whoosh, 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 and then boom, and then whoosh, and then uppercut. You know what I'm saying? Romo Boom. What did the Romo Boom do? We see. Well, I thought this guy is the one that survived the electric chair, bro. Hey, you can't trust things nowadays, y'all. I don't know, bro. That's our electric chair now. Lethal injections. Yeah, that's crazy. Tomotada Gucci. Is this guy the nuclear? Yeah, this guy's him. Anatoly Borsky.
In a particle accelerator.
What is that? What's a particle accelerator? Particle accelerator. So we're looking to. Oh hell no! One of these, bro. This one is like in like the Avenger, like the Marvels. What do you mean doing that? Like, wait, let's search. Why is a particle accelerator dangerous? They emit ionizing radiation while they're operating can produce radioactive waste. So like nuclear super spinners. Pretty much what I'm getting. Wait, his head? Yo, that's crazy. Jacob Miller? What are you doing?
He got shot between the buys and survived.
I heard the buys. Interesting.
Dick will.
Hey man. Yo. Hey. Yo, what were the parents thinking to name this guy that? Hey, let's get it.
Survived the Titanic.
Oh! I heard the Titanic was crazy, bro. I'll show y'all in a second, cause bro, the Titanic, yo, it's worse than you think, which you'll see after this video. She bad. More than two. What? Alright, look at this.
Titanic was a lot more horrifying than you thought.
A lot more
and was
horrifying.
far worse than what you learned. But why? First off, you would be sleeping when it hit the iceberg, waking up to a loud bang and shake in the middle of the night. And at first, you wouldn't even realize what happened. Most people going back to sleep thinking nothing of it. When only 20 minutes later, you would start to hear commotion in the halls, being told to go to the top deck immediately. Still in your night clothes, thinking it was some kind of drill. At this point, the crew already knew the ship was going down, but you wouldn't even know it yet, only feeling a very slight tilt in the ship. On the top deck, they would try to keep you distracted by playing music while slowly releasing safety boats to prevent panic, where only women and children could escape first.
You know what? I'm identifying as a woman. You know, I don't care. It's 2026. Can identify as anything. I'm identifying as a woman. I'm gonna put my shirt like this, bro. Boom. Hit him with the, hey, I'm a woman.
But as time moved on, the tilting grew much worse, where people on the bottom deck would start to see water flowing through the halls and rooms, standing in a large crowd for over an hour waiting to hopefully get a lifeboat. But as the clock neared around 2 a.m., a slow realization would take place that there's not enough safety boats for everyone. At this point, the entire ship would go into a full panic,
and you're just fighting
to fight against the crowd to try to get onto the last few boats. Within the panic, the ship would tilt even more, causing the power to go out, which would be pitch black since there was no moonlight on that day.
That's pretty scary, bro. Even like being like in the darkness, bro, that is
the tilt would become so extreme it would eventually cause the ship to snap in half. Many people flying off or being hit by debris, and if you somehow stayed on the ship, it was now rapidly sinking, but your only choice was to either dive into the pitch black 28 degrees water trying to find a lifeboat, or stay on the ship slowly being lowered into the water, freezing to death.
And that guy who we just saw in the last clip was a survivor of that. Oh my gosh. And by the way, he was a man, so like he definitely had to like fight with his way through or something, or like he survived the icy waters in pitch black.
These are 10 weird things you didn't know about Napoleon. Firstly, Napoleon. Have you ever wondered why everyone is horrified of the North Sentinel Island and is impossible for you to enter without being killed?
Okay, I saw. I just gotta see this because I saw this. North Sentinel Island baddies. All right, I'm definitely searching this up. Let's see, what do we get, y'all? Oh my, Instagram. Hold up now. We gonna. Yo, damn, she bad. Hold up now.
The Pompeii eruption was way more horrifying than you thought, and was far worse than what you learned. But
Pompeii eruption.
First off, you would have zero warning signs. At the time, the city of Pompeii had no idea they were living next to one of the deadliest volcanoes in the world, thinking it was just a mountain, not realizing pressure was slowly building up inside over the past 700 years that lived there. And on a normal day
hey, everyone who died before that, hey, we're resting in great peace.
79 AD, you would suddenly feel the ground violently shaking, followed by one of the loudest explosions in history, nearly blowing out your eardrums.
Oh, that's actually crazy. You know how loud whatever that has to be to blow out your eardrums? And this is like a natural event, bro. That's like high-key crazy.
Mount Vesuvius has erupted, where smaller towns near the base of the volcano were instantly vaporized and killed by 900-degree gases. But all the way in Pompeii, you wouldn't even realize what's about to happen.
What?
Looking in the sky, seeing a massive cloud of smoke and ash filling the air. But surprisingly, many didn't run, staying in the city thinking they were at a safe distance.
Buddy, you're seeing like a big ass volcano. It made people's eardrums bleed and like be gone, and you're gonna be like, you know what? I'm chilling. Yo, bro, people are dumb today. Now some people were dumb back then.
And only 10 minutes later, everything would instantly go pitch black. Ash and smoke traveling hundreds of miles per hour coated the city in seconds. People were immediately blocked inside their homes, literally turning their houses into ovens. In only minutes, buildings collapsed and streets were covered in ash taller than you, making it impossible for you to run away in time.
Wait, wow, that's actually crazy, bro. Oh my gosh, being burnt alive is probably my top 5 fears.
The sound of debris and ash was also extremely loud, like a constant hissing, making it extremely hard for you to communicate in the darkness. Within minutes, hundreds of people already suffocated. But it gets worse. If you still somehow survived, only a few hours later, a wave of superheated gas over 500 degrees swept the city at 100 miles per hour.
Bro, recreated the meme, bro. Hold on, he created that meme in like
100 miles per hour.
Freaking comment sections, like right here. In summary, this is how it felt. Look at this, bro.
Even if you were safe inside your home, you would instantly start choking on the air and suffocate from burning hot gas in your lungs. Where in a matter of one day, the entire city of Pompeii and all areas in the region were gone, taking the lives of over 16,000 people.
That's crazy, bro. But guess what? But who lived to tell the story? It was this guy, bro. Yo, the hoodie guy never dies, bro. These are people who survive the impossible.
The luckiest people who survived the impossible. So this guy, Michael Malloy, was homeless and he was an alcoholic. So 5 guys took out life insurance policies on him and tried to get him to drink himself to death by giving him unlimited credit at a bar. This is because they wanted to collect on the money from the life insurance company. But this wasn't working fast enough. So they started putting rat poison, antifreeze, and horse tranquilizer into his drink. But
wait, y'all gotta realize how crazy that is, bro. That's like bleach, but like times 1,000.
None of these killed Michael. The 5 men started to get angry, so they fed Michael raw oysters with wood alcohol. But this still didn't kill Michael.
Alcohol?
So they started feeding him spoiled sardine sandwiches filled with carpet nails.
Oh, wait. Carpet nails? Spoiled? Ugh. Bro, the smell of sardines isn't even pleasant. It's not bad, but like, spoiled? Bro, you imagine that.
But this still didn't kill Michael. So one night they waited for Michael to pass out drunk and then dragged his body into the freezing cold and left him to sleep there and poured 20 liters of water on him for good measure. But this still didn't kill Michael. So
yo, this gotta be cap. Like, y'all, maybe because he was so drunk that like he didn't feel the freezing temperatures. But bro, that's crazy.
And the 5 men decided to run him over with a car at 70 kilometers per hour. This did hospitalize Michael, but it didn't kill him. So then they decided to put a gas pipe down his
enough. Yo, when is enough, bro? Like, it's time to give up at this point. You're fighting Superman.
Throat and pump gas into him. However, this time he didn't make it out alive. The luckiest people who survived.
Bro, you know what? Screw that. Yo, I gotta see the comment section what others gotta say, because are we serious right now? Him scared of death? No, death is scared of him. Yeah, bro. Bro is invincible? I think so too.
These are some humans who have survived the impossible. Michalina Lewandowska was buried alive by her ex-partner and ended up surviving after somehow clawing her way out of it from 6 feet under.
I've said this in past videos. I do not know how people like her survive being buried 6 feet under. Like, dude, you gotta realize how thick the coffin is. And like when you're going up, like, dude, that's so hard. Like, you gotta realize everything's like tight, right? Everything's tight, and like dirt is just coming. So how do you like? I don't know. Maybe the only space is like the amount of space in the coffin. But like, bro, I think that's just crazy.
Russian doctor Leonid Rogozov was by himself in Antarctica when his appendix burst and he needed emergency surgery, and so he performed self-surgery to cure his acute appendicitis amidst freezing temperatures and I'm sure excruciating pain.
Wait, y'all gotta no. I think that's, if you really process what y'all just saw, I think you guys realize, bro, he's literally cutting himself alive. Do you know how? Yo, that guy's him, bro. Like, bro, he's literally cutting himself alive to save himself. Bro, a paper cut makes me cry already, or like it's annoying as frick. Any like other cut or like deep cut, bro. I don't even know. Dude, that's so insane. Bro, he's cutting himself alive, getting through all the tissues of the human skin, and then, wait, what does it mean, the appendix? I don't know what is the appendix. Oh, it's like the gut or whatever, like your pee or something. I'm not exactly sure, but bro, that's crazy.
Jose Alvarenga was lost at sea in a small boat for 438 days after being caught in the storm.
Bro was playing raft IRL, bro. Which is a survival game on a raft.
And ended up surviving on a diet of turtles and birds before ultimately reaching the Marshall Islands, where he was rescued. And finally, in 1823, a frontiersman named Hugh Glass was ferociously mauled by a grizzly bear and ended up...
So why is the bear giving him back shots, bro?
crawling 200 miles over the course of 2 months to get to safety, somehow overcoming his life-threatening injuries. Pretty cool, right?
What the frick? This is definitely like people who survived the impossible. I don't get, bro, put any other human and they should have been like dead like 99.9999%, no, 100% of the time. Doing certain stuff is like the most I'm him performance of all time. That's what I'm saying, bro. Y'all gotta realize, like, dude, that's so crazy. Like, genuinely, you know how scary that is, bro. I don't know how like surgery is without anesthesia. You know what I mean? Like, bro, that's so crazy. Like, even with like pain, you still feel yourself, well, like painkillers or whatever, you still feel yourself cutting yourself open. That's freaking scary. First woman turned off the fall damage, which is girl who survived like the 33,000 feet thing. It's crazy.
People who survived the impossible. In 2007, 37-year-old Alcides arrived at work with his younger brother named Edgar. They rode the elevator all the way up to the 47th floor of an apartment building in New York. Then they walked onto the platform that normally lowers them down so they could clean the windows. But the anchors holding the platform onto the building broke off and they started falling. In only 6 seconds, they fell a total of 472 feet, going 120 miles per hour. Edgar hit a wooden fence and unfortunately died on the spot, but his brother survived. He suffered 2 broken legs, a broken arm, a broken foot, 2 collapsed lungs, a bunch of broken ribs, and a crushed vertebrae. He also had a swollen brain and ruptured a lot of organs. They think that the only reason he survived is because he held onto the platform as he fell, and when he hit the ground, the platform created enough barrier in between him and the concrete, so he survived.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's crazy. I feel like the most interesting one is the person to start with is the picture to start with that nobody explains. Yeah, this is kind of crazy.
People who miraculously survived the most bizarre accidents. First, this man Lee in China arrived home one day and discovered that he lost the key. For some reason, instead of calling the locksmith, he decided to scale a wall about 50 feet tall to climb into his apartment from the balcony. Then of course this happened. Lee fell from the building directly onto a street lamp, which impaled...
Y'all see that? Oh hell no. Oh hell no.
Nailed him through the shoulder.
Oh my gosh.
Workers had to cut the lamppost to free him from the precarious situation. Then he rushed to the hospital and miraculously...
Oh my... Yo, that's crazy.
He survived the ordeal.
Yo, look at this. Yo, look at... Oh my... Wait, hold up. Holy smokes. Yo, that's crazy.
The ordeal. Second, 2 women decided to trespass on the train tracks when unexpectedly a 100-car train traveling at 30 miles per hour came around a curve. The engineer saw them and urgently applied the emergency brakes, but the train's speed made it difficult to stop quickly. Hearing the horn, both women tried to outrun the 1,400-ton freight train.
We have replay footage, bro.
As they ran, one woman got caught between the tracks and started screaming. The other woman considered jumping from the 80-foot bridge, but decided to go back and help her friend. Realizing it was too late to escape, they both lay face down on the tracks. The train ran over them, but miraculously, they survived.
Yo, that's so lucky of them. I feel like even, like, that's your last resort, like laying flat on the tracks. I think that's the most... That's so scary. I feel like any of the little things under there could like get you. I personally don't know, but dude, that's your last resort, and how they survive is crazy.
People who survived the impossible. In 2011, while bungee jumping on the Zambezi River in Zambia, Erin Langworthy suffered an accident that almost cost her life. Right when she jumped, her bungee cord broke.
Oh my gosh, bro. This is one of my worst fears, bro. Like, even though it's like it should never happen, but dude, when it does... I mean, I'm saying that, but like, dude, that's just so unfortunate.
Fall all the way into the river where she fought for her life for 40 minutes. Luckily, she only suffered bruises and a broken collarbone. Cecilia
That's really good.
was the only survivor of Northwest Airlines Flight 255 in 1987. Only half a mile away from the airport, the plane crashed due to a mechanical malfunction in the left wing. The doctors said they couldn't give an explanation on how she survived, and she doesn't even remember what happened. She fractured some bones in her left leg and got burns on 30% of her body.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, there you guys have it, bro. I think people who survived the impossible, props to them. Thank goodness, bro. Thanks God. And yeah, there you guys have it. If you guys want to see more content like this video here.